Powered by Virginia Radio.
Hello, and thank y'all for joining us. You know, I gotta say, every once in a while, I get a guest that just brightens everything up, sparks everything up. Someone that just, we even rearranged the studio for her, okay? This no one's ever seen the way the studio looks until she got here. We rearranged it for her. All righty. And folks, she just classes up the place, and we're glad to have her. Okay. And I just want to introduce you. And first of all, let me introduce myself. I'm Big Al, the H.N.I.C. Y'all know me. Okay, here at Powered by Virginia. This is our segment. This is our the podcast called Let Me Say Something. This is a segment called Community Heroes of the 757. And for one of the heroes that we have, a legit hero here, and we have Miss Christine Chris Snead, who is the Hampton City Treasurer. Is that the right title?
That's exactly right.
Okay, just want to make sure. Okay. All righty. And Chris, thanks. Is it okay to call you Chris?
Yes.
Okay. And Chris, thanks for taking the time to come, because I know you have a really busy schedule. You're the city treasurer, and let's just get right into it. Okay. First of all, becoming city treasurer, what were you doing before you became city treasurer? Why did you decide to become city treasurer?
Okay. Well, before city treasurer, I was on Hampton City Council, and I served Hampton City Council for 9 years. Before Hampton City Council, I worked for the city of Hampton for 34 years and served 15 years as the city's budget director.
Okay.
So I would say that I was primed for the job of city treasurer.
Okay, so you were qualified for it, ready for it. Okay. Now, with the city treasurer, of course, that's something that's voted on?
Yes, there's an election that's held because there's a primary that occurs when someone runs against you. And so in this particular case, I did have an opponent, and I won the primary. But then for the general election, I had no opposition.
Oh, really?
No.
They were just scared.
No.
Yeah, I thought they were scared. They was no, I'm not going against Chris, man. No.
I don't think that's the case.
So how long have you been city treasurer?
I've been city treasurer for about a year and almost a half. I started on January 1st, 2022 is when I became the city treasurer.
And how long is your term?
My term is 4 years, so I'll be up for re-election in 2025.
Oh, perfect. Okay, so you and Donnie were elected together?
No,
he came in before you did.
Yeah, he did, and he was actually on a separate cycle because it's 2 cycles for city council.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now the big question is, what exactly does the city treasurer do?
Okay. In a nutshell, we reconcile all of the funds that come through the city. We basically account for all of that money. But before we get into exactly that, because I have people that approach me and say, why did my taxes go up so much?
Okay.
And, why I'm paying you so much money? And there's a system. They approach me, and directly? I said, yes. And I said, I'm just a tax collector. You got to talk to somebody else about that. And so I like for people to know that the city council sets the tax rate on the various properties, real estate, personal property, all the different fees. That's done by city council. We also have a commissioner of revenue. Okay. So all the properties that we have in the city, personal property, cars, trailers, trucks, and the like, he assesses the value. On real estate, the city assessor assesses the value on your real estate. then it all comes to us, and we collect the money. So we're the people that take the money in and reconcile it.
So in other words, y'all don't walk up to Chris and start asking why the taxes are going up, why you tax me on this. Don't walk up to Chris and do that, okay? She's probably having dinner for family. She's probably walking around shopping and doing something, enjoying herself. Don't do that, all right? Okay, because she doesn't have the answer. She's doing her job. She's doing her job. You know, although y'all did tax me on my car that I did own, and you know, when I moved here, I've never seen a tax on a car, but that's okay. You know.
Well, that's the state of Virginia allows us to have personal property taxes.
Yeah. Because I came from New Mexico and we didn't have that tax.
Oh, okay,
you know? And I got a letter in the mail, someone going to tax my car. I said, how could they possibly tax my car when I bought it someplace else and all I did was drive it here?
But it's property that's now resides in the city of Hampton.
But it's paid for.
In New Mexico, did you have a local income tax?
Yes.
See, we don't have a local income tax.
Oh, so I just learned something.
Yes, we don't have a local one. We have state income tax and federal, but some states have, you know, a local income tax, and so
there's no Hampton.
There's no Hampton income tax. No.
Now, did y'all hear that? There's no Hampton income tax. I did not know that.
Yeah.
I did not know that. Okay. I'm not any less upset about my car being taxed, but it's just good to know.
So a lot of times when they do have a local income tax, they don't have personal property taxes and some others.
Okay.
In our case, we don't. So we have to tax something to get revenues, you know.
Wow. Okay. I don't know what to say, loud.
But Al, I'll tell you this. When I first started at the city way back, and I knew nothing. I knew nothing about local government, taxes, or anything. And I was helping with the budget, and I realized just how many things we taxed. And, you know, when I saw that we did dog licenses and all, and I was like, oh, my God. Everything is taxed, no matter what you do. It is taxed.
That was back then.
We still tax it now.
No. The surprise in her voice was back. That was back then. The surprise in her voice.
Yeah.
That was like, yeah, we tax it.
And now I'll go, yeah, we tax that.
I got a fish like we tax that too. Yes, we do. Your car, yes, we do. Okay. You know, the price you pay for not having a local tax. Okay. You know, if you don't like it, you can always move. All right.
Now I'm not gonna tell them that.
That's me. That's me. This is Big Al talking. You know, but so you're saying that taxes is not actually necessary. And what are taxes necessary for?
Oh yes, taxes. I mean, education. While that's one of the biggest expenses we have in the city is education. And while the state does pay for a lot of the education based on a formula they call the SOQs, the city of Hampton actually funds $90 million more than what the state says we have to fund.
Wait. The state says you have to fund a certain amount, and we fund $90 million on top of that?
When I looked at the budget when I was helping out, $90 million more.
Is that because there's a need?
It used to be $36 million when I was back as budget director.
You know, so we've always paid more.
We've always paid more. Yes.
Okay, so is the state?
It's the need.
Okay, so the state is under budget. The
state does not fully fund education. No. If we did it based on what the state said, what they call SOQs, standards of quality, our school system would be in quite a state that is not like it is now. You know, we take pride in the wonderful school system we have, and it's because the city makes that commitment to fund various programs like the academies of Hampton.
Okay,
right.
so all right, so wow, but I guess the $90 million is what I'm stuck on. I didn't know on top of what the state
gives. And some federal money, and on top of what we're, that's the total amount is $90 million. Yeah, on top of what we're supposed to give is $90 million.
Okay,
as we call the aid to the state.
And what are some other things that the
it pays for? It pays for, of course, the employees that do the work in the city. It pays for streets and our roads, the traffic signals, the maintenance of our roads, our parks and recreation, community centers, our libraries.
That doesn't come from the state?
No. That's all local.
That's all local.
Local money.
Okay, that's all local money, and remember, there's no local tax.
Right.
So it has to come from somewhere.
It comes from the majority of it comes from real estate taxes, and that's why people get upset. Well, they get upset when they see that the real estate the property values go up, but actually that money is needed in order to efficiently run the city. And I'll tell you, as former budget director, I'm not so sure that the city of Hampton has had all the money it needs to truly operate. The city of Hampton.
Right.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
The city of Hampton
wow.
takes pride in saying that we do more with less. We have fewer employees, per capita than any city in Hampton Roads, So you have to be very efficient, or, something goes lacking, one or the other, but we take pride in that,
We do more with less.
Yes.
Here at Hampton. So there are people pulling like double duty.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, and I forgot police and fire, which are
those are huge.
Our huge the biggest, departments we have, and the work that they do, 24 hours a day.
Governor Youngkin, your big, bold, blue initiative, okay? You saw my podcast about that, buddy. You saw my podcast about that, okay? You're not doing it bad. We need to do a little bit more, okay? We'll talk about that later, Governor, when I get you on my show. Okay, but... these are things that a lot of people don't really think about.
No.
Even you said when I first got you didn't know all of that, etc.
No.
Or how a city runs. So let me ask you this: without the taxes, okay, we don't have a local tax. Let's just say we just depended on the state to give us the money. What would happen?
Well,
in your opinion.
I'll use my department. I'm a constitutional officer, which the majority of my funds are supposed to come from the state, okay? If you look at the analysis that we do with the city, the state only gives us about $500,000. I can't pay 30 people with $500,000.
Well, you can't pay them well.
I can't. I still don't pay them well, even now. So the city, in essence, is giving us I think it's $1.4 million more than what the state is reimbursing us. Of course, now we're supposed to split it 50-50, okay, as far as the state amount and the city amount. But if that were to happen, I'd have a much smaller staff.
Right.
Quite a few of my employees are city funded. They don't get reimbursed by the state. So,
okay.
And in fairness to the state, I will say this, that we do a lot more than what the state actually requires us to do, too. So we provide like a DMV stop. That's a service we provide to the citizens of Hampton or any citizen within the vicinity. It could be Newport News, it could be Williamsburg, wherever, where people can come. They don't have to go to the DMV office.
Right. Wow. So what I'm hearing is that taxes are necessary.
They are very necessary.
Despite early on when we protested taxes, and this is before any of us were born, but taxes are good for us. Taxes keep the education going, they keep the police going, they keep the fire department going, keep the garbage collectors, all those guys, everything, all the essentials that we need. That's where the taxes go.
And fees.
Okay, taxes and fees. And remember, you do not have a local city tax. I want to keep saying that
income tax,
local city income tax. I want to keep saying that because people keep complaining, but we don't have that. This is why but they're doing a pretty good job from what I'm hearing is making up for that. Okay, and maybe even then some.
Right.
So.
And let me say this too: the council last year reduced the real estate tax rate 6 cents, and the city manager is proposing to do another 2 cents this time. So they do understand that the assessments on the property is causing a burden on people's, properties and causing the taxes to go up. So what they've done is propose reducing it some so that you don't get that full effect of what's happening.
Just so I'm clear, because I pay those taxes too, but people are upset because the property taxes are going up.
Mm-hmm, because the value of their property is going up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what,
I always use this analogy. While I'm living there, I don't want my taxes to go up. But when I get ready to sell, I'll take that value and even more to sell when I'm ready to sell my house. Exactly. So you can't have it both ways,
Right.
Right.
It's interesting when people complain about that. I was like, that's something that I wouldn't complain about that because my property value is going up, and then naturally my taxes are going to go up because my property value is going
Absolutely.
up. And like you said, when I decide to sell it, it's like we're going to go with that higher number.
Right.
Okay.
Right. But the one group that it really does affect, I have to say, are our seniors, the senior homeowners, because they are then become on a fixed income, and sometimes with fixed incomes, they can't afford the increases that occur with the increase in the value of their properties. So.
Well, what do you guys do about that? Do they have something where they can go to and say, hey, listen, I need some assistance?
Yeah, we have a tax relief. It's called a tax relief program. Now, it used to be under the tax relief program that if you had, I think right now, if your income's your household income is $60,000 and you have assets of a certain amount, I can't remember exactly how much it is, but it doesn't include your house, then you could get up to 100% tax relief. But that program was eliminated, and those in the program were grandfathered in. Now what we have is a tax deferral program where people sign up and they don't have to pay any of the real estate taxes, but once they sell their house, then they pick up those taxes on the back end. Okay. They have to do that.
Well, it's deferred for how long? It's deferred for how long, though?
For as long as you live in the house.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
So you're saying that you don't pay taxes, but it's not that you don't get charged taxes.
Right. It's just that you don't pay them. Okay. And you only pay them when you sell the house.
Okay, so in other words, whatever value of the house that gets deducted.
Yes.
Okay.
Or if you become deceased,
Mm-hmm.
and like your heirs then take over your property, they have to pay that, They don't get the tax relief. Mm-hmm. The other one we have is called a tax freeze. And the tax freeze says that, if you fall within those limits, this is the amount of money that you'll pay forever on your property. What you're paying right now is what you'll pay. So if
I like that one.
when real estate assessments, your value goes up, then what happens is you pay what you paid last year. Mm. And the good part about it is, let's say that we have a downturn and values go down, and the real estate, your value goes down, and so your real estate tax revenue goes down. Then what happens there is your taxes go down under the freeze program.
Right.
So I mean, if I were going to take one, it would be the freeze program.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you. So how are you getting the word out about these programs to everyone?
Well, you'd be surprised. It's right on the back of your bills when you get it. I did not know that. I have to.
It's where?
On the back of your bill. When you get your real estate tax bill,
it talks about the programs.
It talks about those tax.
Wait a minute.
I would tell you the truth.
Wait a minute.
I did not know that until I became treasurer. Yes, until I became. Isn't that awful? Until I became treasurer.
Okay, so everything you just said, those three categories are on the back of the bill.
They're on the back, yes.
Of what bill?
Of your tax bill.
Your tax bill, property tax bill.
You get your real estate tax bill.
Well, I do. I'm just like, I don't remember. I'm gonna take
because we never flipped the bill over to see the back part. Most people don't even really read their bills. They just look at the amount and that's it.
Everybody's pissed off. That's why it's like, man, take this check, man. Take this check and get out of here. I did not know this.
Yeah. Yeah.
I did not know
Oh, I
this.
didn't either. So, hey.
I was like, wow, yeah, you know. And it's like, huh, okay. Well, the bill's be coming soon. So
when your bill comes, okay, because they'll be mailed out on May 2nd.
Yeah, it's coming. Like I said, it's coming soon.
When it comes, you take a look at it on the back. Likewise, we have information about personal property and business personal property and the like on the back of your personal property tax bill. I've never flipped it over. Never.
Me neither.
They just took all my money. I want to get my paycheck.
Oh no!
Oh, no. They said it's vehicle property tax.
Oh.
It's like, you know. But, yeah.
I'll have to school you on that one, okay? Because that's called a lien, and we will lien your property.
Yep, brother.
We will lien your
You-
paycheck if you do not pay your
Right.
taxes. Yeah.
You can't get away from that, man. You got to pay the tax, man. And for y'all that got liens, don't be stepping to Chris, okay? Just pay the lien, okay? If you had paid it, you wouldn't have a lien.
Thank you. You
That's
just
the way it
said
works.
what I say.
Okay, if you paid it, you wouldn't have a lien, so it's not her fault.
And they spend and so much money you spend in additional fees and penalty and interest when you don't pay it on time. But we've got a solution for that coming up because we're going to have it so that you can schedule your payments monthly. So that makes it easier on your pocketbook.
Okay.
You can tell us, you can debit my credit card or my account every month for X number of dollars.
Okay.
So that you know people don't have to wait because most people are not disciplined enough to set aside that 1/6 of a
Yep.
payment. You know.
Yeah.
So we're going to help you out there.
Okay,
You know?
okay. In other words, they're removing all excuses. They're removing all excuses. You got no excuse as soon as that goes through
Yeah.
not to pay.
Yeah, a little bit's better than
Okay.
a whole lot. You know?
Exactly. And see, when y'all see Chris, y'all not even gonna thank her for that. Y'all not gonna thank her for it. Y'all gonna talk about the property tax, how high it is. Y'all not ain't gonna thank her for what she's doing there. Okay, you know she's working for y'all.
You definitely don't want to depend on that paycheck. And it ain't there.
That's
You know?
right. That's right.
And for y'all that got liens, please, man, just pay it. Don't let the city put a lien on you. They don't want to do it, but they
No,
gotta
we
get their
don't.
money. They don't
We
want
don't.
it. It's nothing personal. It's not
It's
personal.
nothing personal, but you'd be surprised. There are a number of people that tell me that's how they pay their taxes every year. I just
What?
wait until you lien my paycheck.
What?
Yes, I've
Say
got to
what?
get it. I am planning to go out on a crusade and talk to people about that and how much money they waste in doing that. I mean, I'm
That's a-
loving
wait.
collecting
That's
the
a
fees.
strategy?
That's their strategy. That's how they pay it.
I've never heard of such. Okay.
I've had several people tell me that, oh, well, that's how I pay my taxes every year.
I don't know what to say. I've never heard that. I've never heard that.
Yes,
so
I
you wait
have.
to get a lien, you don't pay on purpose, and then you get
Oh, yeah.
and then
you
your
wait
taxes come, and you waste your taxes paying the lien. I'm gonna say it again. You waste your taxes paying the lien. The money you get from the taxes, you're wasting that paying the lien.
Yep.
Okay? All right? It makes absolutely no sense. And some of y'all be teaching your kids that too. Okay? Please, we can do better. We can do better. You can do better.
Well, I'll use my daughter because when she was younger, she had a car, and so her taxes were only $30. And I said, well, your tax bill is due. Okay, I'm going to take care of it. Here comes that yellow envelope saying that you're delinquent. Sam, you're delinquent. You need, I shouldn't call a name. You need to pay your taxes. Okay, I'm going to pay them. I just got to wait until I get the money. I just don't have the money. Then comes that lien letter. Sam, you need to look at this. And she goes, oh, no, they're going to lien my paycheck? Oh, no, I got to go pay this right now because she does not want her office to know that she
Exactly.
hadn't paid her taxes and it requires a lien, you know. But a lot of times people don't realize when you get it, so does your employer, you know.
Exactly.
Gets the copy of the lien letter
Exactly.
too, you know, so.
So they can make sure they get that money back.
Yes.
I got to tell you, folks, I had to learn this the hard way, which is taxes are very important, and paying them on time is very important too. You know, don't be like I was and not pay your taxes and get in trouble because those things compound and they compound and
They do.
oh my God. Okay, oh my God. You start off with a little bit of amount, but by the time you get ready to pay it, and it's a huge amount.
Yeah, because you get penalty, you get interest, you get a DMV stop fee if you hadn't paid it in a certain time. Then you get an admin fee because we're going to charge you for the time it takes us to mail out additional bills and notices and all.
Giving them extra work.
So, yeah, extra work. So, yes, we would love for everyone to pay their taxes on time, but we realize that's not the case because sometimes people do literally have hardships, and when that occurs, sometimes we have to put them on like a payment plan or something like that, but they really have to, show us that they're having that hardship as well.
Right. Yeah. Well, I have to admit, you guys are being as benevolent as you possibly can, which I'm shocked by.
Yeah, well,
I didn't know.
State law, there are certain things we cannot do. The state law says that we can't take away the interest. Penalty.
Right.
The admin fee we have some discretion with. But by that time, I'm like, people come and say, well, I want to pay, but I don't want to pay these fees. Well, I'm sorry, I don't want to go to jail either. So,
hey, listen, okay, folks, listen very carefully to me. You will never win that argument. Take it from yours truly. Okay, take it from yours truly. The fee was $900. You ended up having to pay back somewhere around $17. I mean,
it compounds.
It compounds. It compounds.
Every month you get that extra interest. The longer you take to pay it,
Yeah, I learned the hard way. So I'm trying to educate everybody else out there, my audience out there. Okay, this is why we have Chris here. Okay, now Chris, what made you want to do the become the Hampton City Treasurer?
If you had asked me back when I retired, I never thought I'd be on Hampton City Council, and definitely didn't think I'd be the treasurer. And so, being in political circles and all, and with my background, people would say, well, the former treasurer the current treasurer is not going to run again, why won't you do it? And I was like, why would I? Why would I do that? But I love the city of Hampton so much. I really do. And I mean, it was really perfect for me. I feel like I was destined to be there. At some point, I'm a Hampton native, the first African American treasurer in the city, had worked for the city,
Just applaud that. Yeah, there you go. That's right.
So I just felt like that it was probably destined for me to be there.
So you're a Hampton native?
Uh-huh.
What high school?
Hampton-High. Why are you looking at me like that?
I'm from Bethel.
Oh.
We're gonna let her stay anyway, okay? We're gonna let her stay anyway. I can't believe, of all the schools she could have said, she said Hampton High, our arch nemesis.
The wonderful Hampton High.
Well, you guys are represented by a creature that eats crap, so it doesn't matter. Anyway,
oh Lord,
Hampton crappers, eat all the crap on
That's
the
all right. We don't claw people.
That's right. So. That's right, baby. The Bruins, we bears. That's right. So yeah. But now also, folks. It's not a bad paying job either.
No, it's not.
Okay, the average city treasurer nationally makes about $205,000.
Oh, I don't make that much.
No, I'm saying the average. I'm saying, but you can be a little high, a little bit lower, but like I said, for a position like that, with the responsibility that she has, like I said, if you guys want to do what she does. Or get into the city service and just service your city, work with your city and so forth. It really is a great thing to do, not just with her position, but with the mayor, the city council, all those types of things. We need a voice. We need voices in there.
And we need, if you look at the average age of city council right now, most of them are baby boomers, except for I think we got Hope Harper up there now. But we need to start mentoring and training younger people to be able to come in and sit in those positions and help make move the city forward to the future, a future that they anticipate having, not one that we ourselves at our age think it should be.
Understood.
Yeah.
Now you've been doing this for a little while, but all your background has built up to this.
Yes.
So it's not like you're unqualified or you see stuff that shocks you.
No.
Okay. So what's the best part of being city treasurer?
The best part to me is when I get a senior citizen that comes in, believe it or not, and I've had a couple of them to come in. I had a lady, and she was having some dementia, I guess, and
That's tough.
she thought she had paid her taxes, and she hadn't paid them for a while. And so I went out there, and she just said, "Help me, Miss Snead, help me." And I took her back in my office, and we talked, and I found out she had a son, and her son lived in Michigan somewhere, and so he didn't live here. And so she gave me his phone number. Well, meanwhile, I learned that we had a program in social services that's called Adult Protective Services. And so I called them as well as I talked to the son, and it just so happened that they had money, and they had enough money to help her catch up her tax bill.
That's beautiful.
And it's when when that happens, those type of situations occur, that I feel like I've really helped somebody.
Right.
I mean, the office itself runs like a well-oiled machine. I mean, the staff is tremendous. They're the ones that are doing the work, okay? I'm there for policy issues, to deal with problems and the like, but that staff that I have there is just the best.
Shout out to the staff.
Yeah.
Okay, city treasurer staff, shout out to you guys. All right, Chris is giving y'all some shine.
Yeah, I wouldn't trade them for nothing in the world. Nothing in the world. So, so when I get people that come in, sometimes I get people come in and they're like, "My husband died. I can't get into anything, none of his, I can't get into any of the accounts on this and that, and, can you help me?" And I call up my good friend Linda Batchelor Smith, and she'll help, with the probate and all, So it's when you can help people like that. Now, some people you get in there, you can't help, because they are mean. You get mean people in there, and so
I can imagine.
You do.
They probably walk in mean.
They come in mean, and they come in angry, and they tell you what they're not gonna do. And I had that to happen one time and I had to go out there and tell this gentleman, "You are not gonna talk to my staff like that." He was using some really derogatory words, towards my staff. And I went out there and, I was ready to, defend my staff, because they work too hard, to have to put up with that. And that's what I like to tell citizens. Remember, they're doing their jobs, so there's no need to come in there and be angry with them because you didn't pay your taxes. That's really on the individual, and so
it's kind of ironic that someone will get upset because when it comes to taxes and things like that, that's an automatic thing. You do it every single year, So it's kind of a human error thing, and then when the human error happens, this is when it goes to her department,
right,
and she has to deal with that. Okay, there are a lot of people that she doesn't know because they paid her taxes.
Right.
Never meets them. They paid her
never
taxes.
meet them. Nope. I'll have people. I paid my taxes, and I've even had people to confess it. I haven't paid my taxes yet, but I'm gonna pay them next month. I'm like, I don't know that you haven't paid your taxes. You do not have to tell me. It's so funny because I guess people think that I spend my day looking to see who hasn't paid their taxes, and I do not.
What's your name again? You're in the book. You're in the book. I got you. Okay.
But that's good. And when we, we have to do certain things with liens, process liens, and also do delinquent letters, and it's a lot of intensive work, and the accuracy has to be there. And when we set a goal and we exceed that goal, that's awesome. I really appreciate that, so.
That begs a question, though. There are a lot of people that do it themselves. There are a lot of people that go to like TurboTax places like that. There are a lot of people that do their taxes, through Jackson Hewitt and HR Block, et cetera. I mean, what do you recommend?
Well, see, now that's not my area.
Yeah, but
The Commissioner of Revenue Office does state income taxes, and they'll do them for you. Now,
that's only state that they do.
That's only state,
right?
Yeah. I mean, this is just me personally. I use TurboTax. I use a software to do my taxes. You'd be surprised. A lot of people go to H.N.I.C Block or Jackson Hewitt, and different places, and that's fine. But when you have a simple return, where you just start doing your W-2s, and you don't have a lot of businesses and investments and stuff, you could buy a TurboTax software and it'll walk you right through it, and you pay $45. Whereas if you go to a business, they're going to charge you $100 just for a simple return.
They charge more than that.
Oh, okay. I don't know what they charge.
They charge more.
Okay.
We're talking. If you get a refund, some of them charge a percentage of the refund.
Oh, okay.
Things like that.
Yeah. See that.
And then you got or there's you don't get money back. There's a flat rate.
Mm-hmm.
It depends who you are, but I know it runs somewhere around $300, something like that.
Oh yeah. See, you could save yourself a lot of money.
See, y'all heard it here. Okay.
And actually, if you go online to IRS.gov, if your income's under $75,000, you can file for free. You don't even have to buy the software because they have free software out there that you can use.
That is IRS.gov. If you're under $75,000, you can file for free. So they have software that you can use.
Yes.
And you just follow the software. It's IRS, so that you're not going to lose any money.
Right, and I think
you're not going to miss any
for
money.
couples, it's $150, I believe.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
Something like that, yeah.
To see the things you learn on this show, okay, on the Let Me Say Something show, you see the things you guys learn, okay. We're trying to educate, throw out some knowledge out there, okay, and for the betterment of the community. Now, another question is, you've been doing this for a long time.
Yes.
When I say not this
job, but
work with the city for a long time, okay. How do you do it? There's got to be. How does that affect your family? How are you able to do it? What kind of support do you have?
Okay. Well, when I started out, and I really need to tell you this, and this is for young people starting out. I was under a program called the CETA program, Comprehensive Employment and Training Act. That's how I started my career. And it's like a workforce development type program where they took young people, and put them in, jobs and all, And I started off as a clerk. Off as a clerk in the city manager's office with the city of Hampton back in 1977. And, by being surrounded by such professionals and all, you begin to think about your own future and what it is that you want for yourself. And I'll have to say this. My first goal was just to become an administrative secretary. I wanted to be an administrative secretary. And so
That's amazing.
Isn't that something?
That's amazing. Wow.
An administrative secretary. And so I applied for a job in the fire department, and I didn't get it. And I was heartbroken. I was devastated. But that was the best rejection I ever had because I ended up in the budget department as the administrative secretary. And I had a boss that said, you can learn as much as you want to learn here. And as I went to school, he would do such things as get me the right calculator so I could do my accounting homework and everything. And he taught me so much. And so then, I was like, I'm secretary. I want to do more than that. So I want to be a budget analyst, So then I went to a couple of more promotions. I became that budget analyst. I remember sitting in that cubicle going, this is it? this is all I aspire to be. I want to be where the action is. So I worked even harder, okay. But in the meantime, I finally made it up to budget manager. And my husband and I have a daughter, and was my husband. And I worked so hard. I would work late at night and just trying to, get there. And so as soon as we got to the point where we could start taking vacations and all, my husband got diagnosed with cancer. And he died. And so that left me with a single mother with a 6-year-old, and with a demanding job, but I had a village. My neighbors kicked in, my sister kicked in, and they helped me, right, to raise her, because I was working late at night and weekends and everything to get the city budget done. Nobody really understands what it takes to do that, but it takes a lot. And so finally I became a budget director. And I worked 15 years as the budget director.
Do you get appointed as a budget director?
The city manager hires you.
Okay,
as the budget. Okay. So, the city manager. I never, you know what? And this is such a blessing, but I never had to compete for a job. Other than that first one at the fire department. I always got promoted. Wow. I always got promoted.
Wow.
It's such a blessing.
She ran unopposed as city treasurer too.
Except for the primary. Now I did get some opposition in the primary, but
it doesn't work when you're forced to go do the fire thing.
Right. It didn't work.
You do what you naturally
do. Yes. It all just happened. I mean, I God knows I am so truly blessed. I really am. And I guess that's why I work hard, and I always try to bring somebody up with me. Okay. I don't just sit there in isolation. I try to mentor people and young women and, help them with their path.
That's exceptional. And I hope everyone out there was listening, particularly you younger people, okay? She wanted to be an administrative secretary. That was the ceiling. Mm-hmm. Okay? She saw nothing beyond that. If I become an administrative secretary, I would have made it. Mm-hmm. Okay? Now, unbeknownst to her, that was her plan, but he had a different plan.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
And because of his plan, she is now the city treasurer of the city of Hampton. Okay? I just want you to understand that, how things work. Things don't always work the way you want them to work at the time you want them to work, the way you want them to work. But everything works the way it should work.
It does. And I'm going to tell you this, too. When I retired, I had already planned this. So it does not work as you plan. All right, we used to have a gentleman in the city, Hardy Cash, and he was the ombudsman. And he was the one that would work with citizens when citizens had problems, and he would try to help them solve the problems and everything. And so I always say, Hardy, when I retire, I'm going to become the ombudswoman. I'm going to be the ombudswoman. Well, when I retired, they got rid of Hardy's job. And so I was devastated. I can't be the ombudswoman. Oh, my God.
No one could.
Nobody could. And so, but that's when I was approached about running for city council. And so, it worked out.
When you ran for city council, mm-hmm. I'm assuming you had butterflies in your stomach running for city council.
I did, because nobody knew me. Mm-hmm. That was my thing. When I was asked, I said, but nobody knows who I am because I worked internal to the city.
Right.
And so I was like, people out there don't know me, but they said, once you get out there, they'll know you because of what you have accomplished and the fact that you know the city. And they want Jimmy Eason, bless God rest his soul. He's the one that said, play on the fact that you know where the money is. Well, you know and I did, I knew where the money was, And so I went out and campaigned, and
so the first time you campaigned, you won.
I won.
You guys don't understand how rare that is. How rare that is. When your first campaign for office, you win. It's amazing. So that Wow. You've been in the city a long time. You've been with Hampton a long time. Okay. If you had to talk to someone out there who was thinking about getting into service, I call it service. Okay. Servicing servicing the city, that type of thing. What would you tell them?
Well, I would tell them to keep an open mind. That worked for me. I always wanted to learn. I learned whatever. I remember when we got our first computer in the city manager put it in the corner.
The first computer.
First computer in the city.
The first computer. You're talking about 30-some years ago.
Yeah, the first computer. And the city manager took it and put it in the corner. Desktop. Put it in the corner. And guess who went there to start being nosy and started playing with it? It was me. Nobody else would touch it. And I went over there and I touched it. So always embrace new things. Always respect people and command respect. I always respected everybody, but I also wanted you to respect me. And I commanded respect from you, and so I had no problem coming to you if I felt like that you had done something to me that I didn't think was correct.
Right.
And I did that, but at the same time I smiled. I used to have people tell me, "Oh my God, you just told me no, and I'm leaving here happy." How is that? How is that? Because I'm not going to be mean about it. I'm going to help you solve your problem. I might not give you everything that you want.
Right.
And I learned. I took leadership classes. I did whatever. I embraced whatever. I took Toastmasters. Different. Training,
learning how to talk.
Yeah, learning how to talk, and just people, young people now, I think they think things should be given to them right away. Right away, they should earn it, and sometimes it doesn't always work that way, And so, if you have patience, I always told my daughter, have some patience. You never know. That day you'll walk in and things will change, just like that. And it does happen. I've seen it happen, and it changes for your benefit,
What is the greatest challenge of your, first of all, of your being the city council, and the greatest challenge of now doing this job as city treasurer?
Well, I'll tell you, when I first became city treasurer and I went to work, and I sat there at my desk, and even though I know so much about running the city, I realized I didn't know nothing about running the treasurer's office. I knew what we did. I knew what we were supposed to do. But as far as the systems, I knew nothing. I sat there and I literally panicked because I was like, these people could sabotage me something crazy, because they knew everything. They knew they knew when to do it, how to do it, where to do it. They just knew everything. And I'm sitting here going, this is the first job I've ever had where I don't know how everything works. And so that was a challenge for me.
Now, did they, I don't want to say disrespect you. Did they kind of look down on you like,
no.
Oh, okay,
they embraced
me. 4 years.
No. And see, that's the thing, because they have so much, I call it turnover, but it's not. It's just, that's the political aspect of being the city treasurer. But no, I was embraced by them. And they actually came to my swearing in, the whole staff came to my swearing in.
Oh, wow, that's amazing.
Wasn't that amazing? Yeah. And so, my senior chief deputy, she's terrific. And she, she was the treasurer, interim treasurer one time. I was like, Lord, they could really mess me over here. But no, they don't. They are just, they try to conform to your management style, and because everybody has a different management style, and so it's
so there was none of those. There was no, it should have been me. It should have been me and said, you can tell us, Christine.
No, it wasn't, because even the senior chief deputy, I said, you could be the treasurer. Well, you were the treasurer temporarily, and And she said, I don't want to move to Hampton. She said, I don't want to have to move to Hampton. I really don't like the political aspect of it because it's a lot of politics involved.
I would imagine it would be. Yeah.
Yeah, and so she said, I don't want to do that. And so I feel like now where I am, I've got to find somebody to groom to take over for me when I leave, at some point, stop being treasurer. I certainly wouldn't want to just say, okay, well, I had a good ride and leave the city,
Leave us hanging like that?
Yeah,
okay.
leave you hanging like that, So I do. I talk to my staff and I, ask certain ones, so would you be interested in being the treasurer one day? And I think I've got some of them with their little antennas up,
right, right.
because they're asking questions, So that's good.
All right. So now your term started when you said 2021.
2022.
22. Oh, really? 22. Okay. So that's when your term started. So you
because I'll take off if I win again. I'll take office again January 1, 2026.
2026. Okay. Well, I mean, no one's going to challenge you, so you'll win again.
Oh, I hope not. I hope my work will speak for itself.
Yeah, I'm sure it will. I'm sure. Hey, listen, Power by Virginia, we're with you.
Oh,
so,
thank you.
You come back on the show. We will push you and push you and push you. Not a problem. By then we'll be a full-fledged radio station.
Okay, that'll be
so
great.
We're going to be rolling.
I really do appreciate this opportunity, and I just kind of like the way this has flowed.
Thank you.
It's just conversation.
Yeah, see, I told you. You're not that bad. I'm not that bad of a guy. And just so you guys know, see, two people from different side of the tracks. I'm Bethel. She's Hampton. Can get along.
We can get along.
We can get along.
Yes.
We can get along.
Yes.
Okay. Lyle, you have no idea back in the day, man, that rivalry, brother. You have no idea, man. It's like, yeah, we lost the game. We'll win the fight though. Man, I can tell you, man, it was rough,
they
man.
They were sore losers.
Well, I don't remember losing them that many times, but they did rock us a couple of times, but
Football, basketball, everything.
Yeah, but in the parking lot though, we but in the parking lot,
See, they were roughnecks over there,
Oh, God. That's okay. But listen, folks. By the way, something, folks, we're having such a great time. I forgot to ask if anybody wanted to call in. It's a little bit too late now, but just so you know, the number is 757-964-9367. 757-964-9367. My mistake. I do apologize. I've had such a great time with you, Chris, that I forgot to give the number. Loud, I'm sorry, man. I forgot to give the number out, man. I'm having a great time here. Yeah, I know, right? We were just feeling pretty nice, though. But listen, Chris, I hope you had a great time here. I want to thank you. I'd like to invite you to come back. We would love to have you. Okay, you've been very, very informative, and I think I've asked all the questions. Is there anything? Did you anything you want to say to close us out?
Well, I feel like I haven't really said everything that we do. We do passports, in the treasurer's office. If you want a new passport, we don't do renewals. We do that. We also do delinquent court fines. We do a number of delinquent accounts, fire, ambulance fees. We do library fines and the like. We do debt set off, where we get your income tax money if you haven't paid certain fees and fines,
They can take your income tax money.
Yes, we can. I'm sorry.
I did not know that.
Yes.
Did you know that, Loud? They can take your paycheck. They can take your income tax. I thought the income tax money was sacred, man. I didn't think they could take the income, like your Social Security money, man. It's like that's my income tax money. They can take your income tax money.
But I just felt I would encourage if someone has a question, they are welcome to email me at chris.snead@hampton.gov.
Spell Snead.
SNEAD.
Because I spelled it wrong. She got on me about that.
Well, I was just trying to.
I had to spell SNEED. Right. I was like, oh wow. Okay.
But you're more than welcome to do that, and you could, and that's probably the easiest way to get to me is by emailing if you have questions.
Say it one more time for us.
Chris, CHRIS .Snead, SNEAD @hampton.gov.
All righty. And just so you guys know, just to recap, the treasurer is responsible for the receipt, deposit, investment, reconciliation, safekeeping, and disbursement of funds. That's an awful lot, folks. And then, of course, it breaks down from there. All righty. Listen, pay your taxes. If you have questions, go to the treasurer's office. They're there to help you.
Yes,
they're not there to take from you or to hurt you. So don't be scared. Don't be scared. Okay, come out there and ask questions, etc. She wants to help. The whole staff wants to help. They do a great job. Okay, take it from me. They do a great job.
And may I say, if someone has an organization where they'd like for me to come and talk about this particular issue about taxes and, you know, how to be a more proactive in paying your taxes and how it all works, I'll be glad to do that as well. As a matter of fact, I'm trying to get out there more to the public so that I can educate the public on this whole issue.
Now, when she comes, it's an education session. It's not a bitch session for people to complain. Okay, she's going to educate. She's going to teach you. Okay, that's not the forum to start complaining about your taxes and this, that, the other. Okay, so please be respectful. Okay, did I say that right?
You did.
Okay.
There's little I can do because state law dictates what I can do.
Exactly.
What I have to do.
All righty. Well, Chris, I think you've closed us out already. Is there anything else you'd like to say?
No, I just want to say thank you so much for the opportunity to come. It's been a pleasure to be here, and I hope I served you well. You know.
You did great. Thank you so much. Listen, once again, Chris Snead, the Hampton City Treasurer. She graced our show here at Powered by Virginia on our segment, Let Me Say Something. And she is, without a doubt, a community hero of the 757. She came and classed up the joint, too. Appreciate that. All righty. Hey, Lau, play my music. And we're out, folks. Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
All right.
That was fun.
Powered by Virginia. Radio.